Good day, everyone. I am Sheena May Espanyol from BS Ed English 4A. And now, we are going to continue the rationalization for number 228 to 233. Okay, let's start for the question number 228. The sociological approach can be used to study the noli me tangere of Rizal if the critic considers A. The political and social conditions of Filipinos during the Spanish era. B. The influence of the American to the independence of the Filipinos. Letter C. The literary contributions of the Japanese to the Filipinos. And letter D. The linguistic contributions of the Chinese to the Filipinos. Okay, the answer is letter A. The political and social contributions of Filipinos during the Spanish era. So, Noli Me Tangere is an 1887 novel by Filipino writer and activist Jose Rizal and published during the Spanish colonial period of the Philippines. And now, let's proceed to the question number 229. Using the methodological approach, what would the critic see in the literary piece? Okay, when we say methodological approach, it is an approach generally it covers or identifies manifestations of mythology in literary work. So whether as the creation of an original myth, as the appropriation of a traditional mythological figure, story, or place, or in the form of allusions, and uses these mythological elements to aid interpretation of the work. So, letter A, plot. B, historical background of the piece. Letter C, archetypes present in the text. And letter D, social problems of the characters. Okay, the answer is letter C, archetypes present in the text. So archetypes are used as a system that talks about culture in relation to society and psychology, but it needs a quest in which we look for identity and role in this universe. So archetypes occur in literary plot lines, settings, and symbols, as they present shared patterns of human experiences. It also determines the form of functions of literary works. The text meaning is shaped by cultural and psychological myths. So let's proceed to the question number 230. Okay, which is the philosophical discussion of literature's methods and goals? So letter A, literary theory. B, literary piece. C, literary criticism. And letter D, literary demonstration. Okay, the answer for the number 230 is letter A, which is the literary theory. Okay, literary theory is a body of ideas and methods we use in practical reading of literature. By literary theory, we refer to the meaning of a work of literature, but to the theories that reveal what literature can mean. So literary theory is a description of the underlying principles. One might say the tools by which we attempt to understand literature. Okay, when we say literary piece, it includes non-dramatic textual works with or without illustrations. They may be published or non-published, and it can be speeches, textbooks, reference works, directories, catalogs, advertising copy, games, and automated databases. Literary criticism is the comparison analysis, interpretation, and or evaluation of works of literature. Literary criticism is essentially an opinion supported by evidence relating to theme, style, setting, or historical or political context. Okay, now let's proceed to the question number 231. For the question number 231, in The Mole by Kabawata Yasunori, the woman has the habit of touching her mole, which annoyed her husband so much that it caused them marital problem. So the woman could not explain well why she does it so. So what process can be used best to understand the woman? A. Psychological. B. Cultural. C. Archetypal. And letter D. Formalistic. Okay, the answer is letter A, which is the psychological. This approach psychologically analyzes the author of the work or a character in this work. It helps the readers understand the motivations of the writer as well as the characters. In other words, this criticism helps us to understand why the writer writes the way he does. Why do characters in the story behave in this particular way? Now let's proceed to the question number 232. Okay. What approach is concerned with the study of signs? A. Hermeneutics. B. Semiotics. C. Formalistic. And letter D. Dialogic. So the answer is letter B. Semiotics. So semiotics is also called semiology, or the study of signs and sign-using behavior. Okay, according to Ferdinand Saussure, a Swiss linguist, he defines semiotics as the life of signs with society. Okay, when we say hermeneutics, hermeneutics describes as a body of historically diverse methodologies for interpreting text, objects, and concepts, and a theory of understanding. When we say formalistic, an approach that examines a text by organic form, its settings, theme, scenes, narrative, image, and symbols. Okay, when we say dialogic, it refers to the use of conversation of shared dialogue to explore the meaning of something. Okay, now let's proceed to the question number 233. Last question assigned to me. Okay. For the question number 233, what approach can be used to study the text of the Bible? A. Hermeneutics. B. Semiotics. C. Formalistic. And D. Dialogic. Okay, the answer is letter A, which is the hermeneutics. So refers to the theory of practice of interpretation, which interpretation involves an understanding that can be justified. So it describes both a body of historically diverse methodologies for interpreting text, objects, and concepts, and the theory of understanding. Well, thank you for listening to our review discussion, and God bless everyone. Bye.